The key challenge for education and workers' education in particular is what has happened to consciousness throughout the world. Populism is flourishing, consumerism is widespread, and everybody wants a quick fix. Whereas education kind of forces you to kind of pause and to reflect. IFWEA was formed after the World War, and these were some of the challenges that it faced. It came out of a period which saw a lot of destruction precisely because of the widespread populism and the growth of consumerism and multinational companies throughout the world.
The biggest challenge has two aspects to it. The first aspect is essentially about changes to the way work is organized. And secondly, this has been intensified by digitalization. What it means is that work is not what it was before, and work has become so precarious for most people. The labor market has changed irrefutably. And the role of worker education particularly is to develop strategies for labor and educators to deal with these changes. The second challenge is a reduction of continuous education to be something that is very, very narrow and is only based on getting some kind of employment or livelihood. So at the same time as they're required to be flexible and to do things differently, the resources and the institutions which enable you to do that have all died out because they require money to come from somewhere. That money comes either from the state or from capital, and all of that money now goes towards learning for earning. What kind of society are we left with when the only thing that matters is survival? What kind of society are we left with where whole layers of the workforce now have no guarantee of a daily, weekly and monthly income? How bad is this when we have certain areas of the globe where there was never full employment, there was never full, free, formal education? How bad are all these things compounded, and what kind of problems do they lead to? They lead to migration, which is the human way of dealing with deprivation. They lead to striations within societies, which then breaks the common political consensus that has held those societies stable for generations. And worstly, when you have a complete recession on the kind of general education that motivated individuals, you have a dumbing down of your population. And all the other aspects of a rounded individual are neglected. And so what you have is a rising suspicion of each other, and more importantly, an extreme mistrust of elites and any form of elites. They are people who just have what you don't have. So a notion of the fact that the working class as a whole have things in common has practically dissipated. In this global digital economy, there's a homogeneous taint to what is regarded as popular culture, which is literally just a repetition of the most wealthiest cultures. There's a plethora of opinions, but opinions are formed totally in and of yourself and your experience. You are never really exposed to other opinions, different ways of seeing things, different ways of doing. These were things that worker education did, community education did, popular education did. And as those organizations became less and less resourced, we have become less educated than before. And so when people say outrageously populist things, and they say it loudly, and they say it authoritatively, there's no way of challenging it. People are not given a basic education level which allows them to weigh this up. So the rise of authoritarian populist leaders, which is what we're facing now, the precarious existence of whole layers of societies, and our questions that we have to ask is, what can we do to rebuild a vision of what could be, Who do we need to build this vision? And how do we heal the divisions that have arisen through the striation and the development of certain elites in the institutions of this movement over the past 30 years?